having the probe to begin with is due to the privileged speech of Ace Barbers, labeling all of us as narco-bloggers, Pogo Pay, and Bagong Makapili. There is no discussion as to what constitutes being a Bagong Makapili, or there is no proof showing that we are paid by narco politicians or even Pogo. I myself has no any link with Pogo operators, so how can I possibly be paid by them? So that's the first question I raised on one of my posts sa social media. Secondly, biglang nagbago. Ang privileged speech ni Ace Barbers ay about nga sa narco bloggers, Pogo Pay, and Bagong Makapili. But then eventually, they changed the subject matter to fake news, which I myself is irrelevant. Why? Because in the first place, I am not writing news. I am writing my political opinions, which is within the constitutionally protected speech natin. So yun, tinatanong ko din, dapat they should clarify what really constitutes fake news and how does it differ to political opinions. Because if they regulate fake news by targeting us who are only writing our political opinions, they are indirectly suppressing our freedom of speech. Tama? Kasi they are converting our opinions as news. So that's the harm that I have seen sa probe ni Dan Fernandez about this subject matter. Secondly, Maria Ressa, a Nobel Peace Prize awardee in 2021, she was caught lying in the international media saying that ABS-CBN has 11 million employees. Why is she not invited? Her inputs, her knowledge about fake news sana ay the best tool for the HOR to craft better policies or to regulate well the use of social media platforms or experience. Secondly, last year, Richard Hilarian, he posted that by December, the ICC will arrest former President Rodrigo Duterte. It did not happen. Does that constitute fake news? Now, if it does constitute fake news, why is Richard Hilarian not invited by the HOR? Ito yung point ko. If the HOR is really serious on their probe about fake news, why are they only targeting pro-Duterte voices? So this, I think, in my own opinion, is a targeted political maneuver. We know for a fact that within the week, the SecGen will transmit the impeachment raps against VP Sara, the 3 impeachment raps against VP Sara. Secondly, just this week, they declared food emergency. And just today, the Supreme Court notified Speaker Romualdez, Jesus Cordero, Senate President, and the Office of the President to comment on the petition filed by Attorney Big Rodriguez and Congressman Uma about the GAA, the blank spaces. Now, if you look at the timing, it's very glaring. They are trying to silence us so that we would not be able to write about all these important issues. So this is not just about what we did right now, the filing of petition in the Supreme Court is not evasion of, or we're not evading accountability. We are fighting them because we don't want to be ruled by felons. You know what I mean? Because kanina lang, ang ano ni Joey, ang letter pa lang niya, contemptible na. So is that their goal? To contempt us? On their invitation, ang sinabi nila, we will invite you because we need to hear your knowledge about the subject matter. Now, how come na ang maging basihan nila ay yung sa for contempt is yung letter ni Joey. If they really want us to share our knowledge about fake news, then dapat, di ba, they should hear us. There should be no threat of us being cited in contempt. We are private individuals. We are not politicians. We are working on a daily basis. So with them detaining us or with them setting us in contempt, they are also cutting our ability to earn. Or they are suppressing, aside from suppressing our freedom of speech, they are also parang attacking our, our personal life. So yun lang, because we are private individuals. So, for me, to wrap up everything, this is a targeted harassment. This is a targeted political maneuver. And this is not really about fake news probe because they already did this in 2017, 7 years ago. They should have, implemented better rules and regulations now, but they did not. So now they are sparking this conversation again because they are trying to hide or conceal something that's better or more important than what we are currently facing. Yan lang po. Magandang hapon po sa mga.
Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Joey Cruz, also known as Joanne Lee. French name. And there are several revelations today, and it confirms our hunches that the goal of the House of Representatives, the joint committee that handled the committee hearing, calling us to appear, to share our knowledge on matters that were raised by red barbers last December 4 and December 16, saying that there are makapili vloggers, narco-vloggers, and vloggers being paid by co-operators. On December 16, red barbers called on law enforcement groups to investigate malicious vloggers and shows and to act on any cyber crime that they would see. It is very clear. The goal of the House of Representatives is to silence us, put us in jail, or if not, cite us in contempt, and God knows gano'n katagal ilalagak dyan sa facility ng HOR. Worse, baka salit kami sa facility ng regular jails. And that is something that I cannot accept. Unang-una, yung mga subject matter na nilatag nila doon sa invitation nila, sabaw na sabaw. And, the message is this: we are not stupid. We are common citizens, but we are not stupid. There are so many things that were revealed today. How power tripper the House of Representative members in that committee, including Rep. Benny Abante, who, by the way, wanted to, open the conversation of me being put in contempt, being cited in contempt, merely because I mentioned that I have no knowledge about being a paid vlogger by drug money or operators. My excuse was that since I have nothing to share, and if I have nothing to share, I am of no use to whatever goal that you wanted to achieve in that committee. And so, if I will go there and I'm going to be accommodated by the facility of the House of Representatives, sayang na kuryente sa akin. Wala naman akong alam doon sa topic na gusto nilang pag-usapan. And so, I told the committee that me declining their invitation is coming from deep concern on the prudent utilization of public resources. How can you cite me in if I am just concerned sa pera ng bayan. This actually revealed a very, nonchalant attitude of our of the members of the House of Representatives. Wala kayong pakialam sa pera namin. Imbis na hinahanap nyo kung sino naglagay nag-fill in ng blanco sa bicameral committee para magkaalam na tayo dito kung paano nyo binuo yung 2025 national budget, ang pinagkakaabalahan nyo kami at ang excuse letter namin. Is that fair? Now, again, it's very clear. This is harassment. This is to silence us. This is really to make us feel intimidated and for us not to talk about public issues. And it can't happen. As a private citizen, ang bala na lang natin, boses natin, and they want that taken away from us, from me. Of course, you have all the resources. What do I have? Me and my mother. And you're going to use your privileges in the House of Representatives para takot-takutin ang taong kagaya ko? Now, ordinarily, I know that, it's easier to vote. It's easier to choose that route. But we realize, yung mga taong kasama ko dito, we realize that if we are going to vote, they are going to do what they are doing to everyone. Why? Because they have done this to retired generals, to men in uniform in active service, to the Vice President of the Philippines, to us vloggers, and they are not going to stop unless we stand up and confront this in the proper forum. So that is why we decided to bring this in a place where there is a level playing field. Doon tayo sa pantay ang laban. Hindi yung guguruhin nyo kami dyan, gagamitin nyo yung privilege ninyo, aapusuhin ninyo, gamit ang pera ng bayan, kung saan kami rin ang nagpapasweldo sa inyo. It can't continue like this. Hindi po pwedeng ganun. Someone has to say something. And we were put in an opportunity to react. And sabi ko nga po kanina, pinag-isipan po namin ito, alam po namin na hindi ito madali, but when an opportunity like this happens, it's very important to do the right thing. And I hope a lot of you will also protect your freedom. Every single Filipino should know the abuses of some of the members of the House of Representatives. Every single Filipino should know how the budget, taxes na pinaghihirapan natin araw-araw, pinagtatrabuhan ng tama at patas, ay binababoy dyan sa Kongreso. And, these are the things that we should all talk about, discuss, and demand transparency and accountability from the people who call shots. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nung nirelease po si Dan Fernandez yung listahan, nandun yung pangalan namin. Meron siyang statement doon, he was quoted. Filipinos have the right to know the truth. We must protect them against our fellow Filipinos to spread misinformation that cause fear and division in our society. In other words, kung nilabas nila yung listahan, they already labeled us as purveyors of misinformation. Nakapatak na sa noon namin yun ng mga fake news kami o gumagawa kami ng fake news. That's why we are here. Because we want to tell the world that we are not. Hindi kami funded by Pogos, hindi kami funded by drug lords. Yung Peronas Marcos, because he can probably tell you na mayroong connection siya sa Pogo at saka tumagas ako Marcos na yan. Yung despicable two na yan. So you see, when the day comes that you invite me, I will tell you, hindi ako tatakbo. I don't run from a fight, I will begin. Pero ito ang sasabihin ko sa inyo, members of this tribal. I will bring documents and allow me to speak. Because even if that is the inconvenient truth, that is the truth. Lahat kami rito, hindi namin alam kung paano gumawa ng fake news. We only tell what's the truth, even if it is inconvenient to those who are in power. So mga kababayan, tandaan po ninyo, tingnan po ninyo, pag pumunta po kami doon, inalagkat kami doon, you see how they will treat us. Observe, tingnan ninyo how they will treat us. How they will disrespect us. How they will remove our dignity. Kasi kung gagawin nila yan sa amin, gagawin din nila yan sa inyong lahat. 120 million Filipinos. Ginagawa kaming example to instill fear sa lahat ng Pilipino para manaig sila and they will remain in power for as long as they want. That's how hungry they are. Ganyan siya kagalit, ganyan siya uhaw sa kapangyarihan. All of them. Kaya tandaan po ninyo mga kababayan, ito kami, nandito kami sa harap ninyo. We are not afraid to fight. In fact, dati, kanya-kanya kaming diskarte. Now, they bind us together. And we will speak with one voice. A voice that will reckon everything in people's mind. We will fight and we will win.
Good afternoon po. Please forgive me if I stutter or stall because I don't know why they call me a blogger. I've never gone on live. I always just write. I'm a writer. In fact, if some of you are actual speaker or publication writers here, I'm one of you. I'm an editor for Manila Bulletin and for Balita. I don't go on social media. I've never gone on live, not once. I've never been on YouTube. I don't have a YouTube. I'm not monetized. I'm a regular person who criticizes the government on my page, not because I've made powerful enemies. Nandito ako and I'm looking at it and it feels so surreal because I look at you and I'm there. Ako yan eh. Ako yan pag meron kami pinaka-cover kasi nandito lang ang dyan. But now I'm here just because I'm pissed off Martin Romualdez. I've been writing. I've been politically aware ever since Typhoon Yolanda hit my province of Leyte. But nobody has ever, and I'm just writing my thoughts because Facebook says what's on your mind. So you write what's on your mind. But apparently, I've pissed off Martin Romualdez and Judas Ibe. So nandito ako ngayon because I have an uncle who is one of their contractors, one of the big contractors. Tapos matagal na akong sinasabihan, tumigil ka na, bumabangga ka sa pader. And the more they tell me that, the more I realize, parang hindi mo ako papatigilin. Wala, kung may problema kayo sa sinasabi ko at mali, then sue me. You have legal remedies. You have defamation, you have cyber libel, the strictest, one of the strictest in the world. Libel, defamation, like I said, defamation. So yun, and I just want to say that Martin Romualdez and his Antigo party list has continued to harass me and my family because we're all from Leyte. So they know my family. I just want you to know that because if something happens to me, it's them. Because if Martin calls my place of work, he's a kind of person. Judas Ibe calls my uncles because yung isang uncle ko, what do you call this, contractor sa mga projects ko. Sinasabihan ako niya, makakadamay ka sa negosyo namin. And, parang, I don't know why I'm doing this, to be honest, because nakakadami na naman ako sa kanila. Pero, you should all learn to fight for it. Yun na, sabihin ko lang yun. Tsaka, very quickly, I just want to share what I wrote as Dan Fernandez would not read it, so I'll read it very quickly on why, because he dismissed it so easily as freedom of speech. It's not that simple. So I'll read very quickly on why, after careful consideration, I decided not to go. Aside from the, I know that I'm not gonna get there. They're not gonna listen to us. So first, I am not a blogger. As I told you, I do not do lives, I do not have YouTube, I only have my Facebook. All my followers there, and DICT can check it, and DI Cybercrime can check it, they're all real, I never paid for a follower. So, I'm not monetized. So I don't know kung ano yung basihan nila. Gagawin ka just because I have followers. Social media blogger na ako. I'm not monetized. I've never received anything from just writing on Facebook. That's all I do, just writing Facebook. I don't even talk on YouTube. I am, however, a professional journalist. Ever since 2005, I've been working in publishing. I'm currently an associate editor at Manila Bulletin. I'm also the editor of Balita. And what I am is a professional journalist with a social media following. There's a distinction. So, Filipinos, we are protected by the 1987 Constitution, Article 3 Bill of Rights, Section 4, Section 2, Section 18. But an extra layer of protection covers all journalists. The Republic Act number 6713 is a code of conduct and ethical standards saying all journalists have the right to demand transparency. Apart from that, we have the SOTA law, which allows us not to divulge our sources. So with all due respect to the HOR, I would like to say that an inquiry is aimed to regulate social media is unconstitutional. The reason I did not vote is I do not support, cannot tolerate, and will fight against the idea of Muslim free speech. If I appear before Congress, it's like me legitimizing them wanting to regulate us. So I did not appear. Because government interference is a no-no and should not be allowed in the area of free speech. Free speech na nga lang ang meron tayo. Yun na lang ang meron tayo against abuses of the power. Tatanggalin tayo. Sasabihin nila, fake news. Kung fake news, kasuhan nyo kami. Meron namang, we have legal remedies for those. So I would also like to remind the House of Representatives that power is not forever. The legislation, we want to enact now that whatever you do now, somebody will do to you when you're no longer in power. So be careful how you treat us, because you will be treated like this when somebody else, which I'm sure it will not be you, will be in power the next time. I also take very deep offense that Representative Barros said that he will invite narco bloggers, pogo vloggers, and fake news spreaders in the hearing, which he has repeatedly said, not just in the Halls of Congress, but also in various interviews by media, which done in his home is not covered by his parliamentary immunity. Hindi siya parliamentary immune from saying na narco bloggers kami. Dahil sinabi niya yun during his interview with TV stations. He has already pre-accused those who are invited now as narco and pogo bloggers. So I would like to ask Representative Case Barros if he has any proof that all of us here are any of those, because ano yung karapatan niya irregulating? Because that's his premise that we are funded by narco bloggers, we are narco bloggers, we are pogo bloggers. So in this regard, we will, if he forces us, petition the court for habeas data so that the Congress will be compelled to release any document that show why suddenly he is accusing us of being narco and pogo bloggers. This is damaging to us as Filipinos, as private citizens, and me personally as a newspaper editor, because I've been working for 20 years and not once have I ever been sued by anyone. So, even during the time of Duterte, when I was fighting with people on social media, it's so easy to sue, But I was never sued because I know, hindi ako nag-aral para maging fake news spreader. So, so the term fake news spreader is used liberally by people to diminish the opinions of those they do not agree with. So that's what they're doing now. As for calling us narco bloggers, I am willing, as I am sure everyone here, to undergo drug tests alongside all the public officials. We pay our taxes. We pay them with our taxes. We have a right to ask them to undergo narco bloggers. Alam ang narco bloggers, kasi hindi kami nag-drugs. So let's all take drug test together. Kasi narco bloggers are okay, so as I said, we have legal remedies already provided by the courts. And these remedies are available both to me, a simple Filipino, and to them. Hindi lang kami ang may karapatan mag-sue ng slander or defamation, sila din. Fake news, we have libel, claiming someone, even a public official, can get you sued with defamation. Our cyber libel law is one of the strictest in the world. We have the revised penal code and cybercrime prevention act of 2012. So all these laws are provided for citizens. Whether you can use it, they can use it. Hindi lang naman dahil Congressman si Trinon sued a journalist, so and he won. So it's not as if Ace Barbers cannot sue someone. It's not as if Martin Romualdez cannot sue someone. It's been done before. We could be sued. A congressman can sue someone. So why are they not using it? Bakit ipapatawag kami? Parang dun sa HOR, parang magawa nila yung gusto nila. It's not a level thing. If we're not going, hindi naman kami tanga na pupunta kami doon. Tapos gagawin nilang gusto nila sa amin. Gusto nilang gulo. Gusto nilang dito, sa labas. And then, if gusto nila kami patawag, hindi namin ibibigay yung sarili namin easily. You will go through legal hoops to get us. Hindi kami tanga, hindi kami aso, na pupunta kami sa HR kasi pinatawag niya kami. Kung gusto niyo kami kunin, makukuha niyo kami pero paghihirapan niyo. At malalaman ng buong mundo kung anong ginagawa niyo. We will not allow it. Hindi kami ignorante, we know our rights. And then another one, I'll wrap this up quickly. I'm just I've not spoken in many years. So, and also, I would like to share my observation that the invite list is composed of anti-administration bloggers. They have two, token, pro-admin bloggers, dalawa. So, are they inferring that the fake news spreaders are, the critics are fake news spreaders, pero sila hindi, yung mga tao nila, yung mga bayan nila, yung mga pro-admin bloggers, hindi. Sila nagsasalita ng masama against kay Duterte, nagsasalita ng masama against kay Sarah, but it's not considered disrespect. But when we do it, it's disrespect. We're not gonna allow parang double standard kasi bayad namin kayo, our taxes are paying for you. Also, another one I'd like to share on a personal note. So, sila gusto nila protected sila from fake news, from defamation. Paano naman kami? Ako, I will share personally. A few weeks ago, Jude Asidre of Tingog Party List posted on his Facebook. Because during the pandemic, myself, Mark, Attorney Trixie, and Dr. Ethel, we tried raising money for PPEs. Tapos, sinabi namin dun sa Duterte administration that whatever we raise na money, ibibigay namin sa inyo so that you have extra money. Kasi nung time na yun, everyone was panicking, I didn't think we had enough money. Tapos, hanggang umabot kami kay Seth Sonny ng Department of Finance, and he said, hindi namin tatanggapin yan kasi matatie up yan sa red tape. Because whatever we buy, ang pinaka-best is you find a way to buy. This was during the time na ang hirap-hirap makabili ng PPE. You find a way to buy, and then kayo na mag-distribute sa hospitals, which we did. To just destroy my credibility and reputation just because I attacked his boss, Martin Romualdez, Jude Asidre posted that I stole the money. Parang he said, oh really, ganyan. But the thing is, kahit mas disorganized ako, organized sila. So lahat ng receive, we have pictures, we have and more importantly, that's a private fundraising, hindi yan taxes ng tao. That's a private fundraising event, and we were accountable to all our donors. So ginamit nila yun. So just because they want to use something against you, kasi hindi naman pwedeng awayin ka nila, wala silang gamitin sa'yo, so ginamit nila yun from 2020. Between 2020 and now, we've done a lot of efforts for relief, disaster relief, pero yun ang ginamit nila. Unfortunately, sa kanila, meron kami proof which we try to do always. So ang gusto kong itanong sa HOR, one of your own defames or slanders a regular person like me, congressman, what is my legal remedy? Bakit kayo lang ang may karapatan magpatawag? Pwede ko bang ipatawag si Jude dito? Can I just sue him? Because if I can sue him, I will. You know, parang, so yun ang sinasabi ko, parang abuso. Baka akala nyo, kami lang to, but if it happens to me, it will happen to all of you. If it happens to all of us here, and we're all educated here, it can happen to, eto kasi, this is the idea, pag-election na. This is the perfect time for them to shut us up. This is the perfect time for them para matakot tayong lahat at takihin sila. Pero we cannot do that not just for ourselves but for our children. Kasi we cannot allow them to just do whatever they want without them being checked. Kasi sa kanila na lahat eh. Executive, legislative, yung sana yung judicial hindi. Pero pag pati tayo pinatahimik, wala nang mangyayari sa Pilipinas. And you know, some of us can turn a blind eye, some of us hindi natin kaya switch off yung passion natin for loving this country. And finally, I just want to say that, sorry about this, I'm not very used to speaking. So lastly, ang sabi nila, ang issue nila troll farms, we have proof about troll farms. Ang mga pages nila, pag binasa ninyo, it's trolls. Kahit sinong Pilipino na hindi magaling sa social, you don't have to be an expert to identify trolls. But they're not in the listed invitees. Kami, now we all have our faces, we show our faces, we know who we are, we don't have anything to hide. We're the trolls. But the people they employ, and we know who they are, and we will reveal their names in Congress, in HOR. Yung mga binabayaran ninyo, yung mga heads ng social media pages ninyo na dati ganito lang ang buhay kasi ngayon sobrang social na, we know who they are, we know how much they pay the troll farms. So, bakit kami ang nandito? Pero sila na, kung concerned kayo sa troll farms, huwag kayo, ipatawag niyo din yung mga taong binabayaran ng mga kaalyado ninyo because it's not fair. So just to reiterate, the reason that I am not going and I will not go until the Supreme Court forces me to is that, a law, there's a law or whoever tells us to go, but they're not going to get us that easy, is that first, reiterate, we refuse their invitation because the hearing to regulate social media, regulating social media, i.e. free speech, is against my principles, against the Constitution, is biased and targets only critics, very obviously, and it's irrelevant to me because I'm not a social blogger, more so a narco or pogo content blogger. Meanwhile, we have to fight for this country, for every Filipino, rich or poor, with 1 million followers or with 1 follower, against a government or pro-government. Because as Voltaire said, and as the President kept repeating, I may not agree with what you say, but I will defend your right to say it. So we will exhaust all legal remedies to protect our right for free speech, our right to criticize, and we will use our voices, and we will not waver, even in the face of threat and intimidation. Thank you.
Ayan, nasabi na nila lahat. Actually, I saw this coming. Diba, for those who've been reading me, paulit-ulit kong sinasabi noon pa man that we should speak out and multiply. Kasi hindi nila tayo kaya ipakulong lahat o takutin lahat. I'm sure many of you have also foreseen this. Mga kala siguro ng mga bangag sa kapangyarihan, pera at droga ay matatakot at uurong ang mga tumbong natin. What they did not see is this. Sa bawat kritikong susubukan nilang patahimikin,
may 10 o higit pang Pilipino ang magigising, magsasalita, maninindigan. Tulad ng paulit-ulit kong sinasabi, cowardice is contagious, but so is courage. So sa lahat ng nakikinig ngayon, at sa online, at ngayon mga kasama natin dito, tulungan niyo kami. Huwag tayong matakot. Magsalita tayo. Ilabas natin, kasi alam niyo, ang media ngayon, karamihan sa kanila ay pag-aari na or partly owned by those in power. Tayo na nga lang sa social media ang naglalabas ng mga impormasyon at mga informed opinion. Kung hahayaan natin patahimikin pa tayo, abay, napakadali na nila tayo busabusin. Huwag nating hayaan na mangyari yun. Alam nyo, noong 2016 or 2017, during PRRD's time, pinost ni Doc Ethel, may mga mambabatas na gustong i-regulate din ang media. Hindi lang ang social media, but mainstream. Dahil si PRRD pa nga ang target noon. Siya yung inaatake left and right ng black propaganda. Pero alam nyo, ang ginawa ni PRRD, lahat yung tinurn down niya. Why? Because para sa kanya, ang freedom of expression is the most important of all freedoms. Yun ang dapat nating pinaglalaban at pinoprotektahan. Dahil pag yan ang nawala, wala na. Kaliwat kanan na ang korupsyon, ang injustice. Ang ganda ng foresight ni PRRD. Hindi lang niya inisip yung panahon niya na okay, sige, i-regulate niyo yan para hindi ako tirahin. No. Hinayaan lang niyang atakihin siya. Kasi alam niya, by the time na wala na siya sa pwesto at may ganitong pangyayari, ay may mga magsasalita pa rin, may mga pupuna pa rin, kukontra at maglalabas ng mga impormasyon. History has repeatedly taught us that corruption festers where criticism is silenced. When dissent is crushed, those in power become emboldened. Lumalakas ang kanilang mga loob at kumakapal ang kanilang mga pagmumukha to plunder the nation, to abuse their authority, and manipulate institutions for personal gain. This is where public scrutiny is the last line of defense against tyranny. Freedom of expression is not just a mere suggestion. It is an absolute and an inalienable right enshrined in the Philippine Constitution. Sabi nga nila, whoever would overthrow the liberty of a nation must begin by subduing the freeness of his speech. At yan na nga po ang nangyayari ngayon. Di po ba? Sabi ng mga followers at mga bloggers na naka-align sa gobyerno ngayon, kami raw po ay huwag dahil hindi kami sumupot. Hindi kami sumipot dyan sa hearing na ipinatawag. Alam niyo po, for over 15 years, magyayabang lang ako ng konti. I have, just like many of you here, sina Mark, sina Darwin, bago pa man naupo si PRRD, magkakakilala na kami online dahil pare-pareho na kaming vocal. Although, hindi pa uso ang salitang blogger noon. And I think pare-pareho rin kami na hindi namin naman talaga gusto na tawagin kami o i-label na blogger. Because guys, may mga trabaho kami, may mga profession kami. But then, syempre, ayun na yung ginamit ko term, o di sige, kasi para hindi naman parang mga paalta na nag-cringe kami doon sa salitang blogger, but we're not. You know, we have doctors here, lawyers, journalists, but anyway, so for the past 15 years, like I said earlier, I have fearlessly but responsibly share my political analysis and informed opinion on Facebook. I have also criticized those in power and often also offered suggestions. Si Pinoy, even si PRRD na kahit sinusuportahan namin, paminsan-minsan din namin pinupuna. Wala ni isa man sa kanila. Kahit gano'n pa kami ka-harsh minsan ng mga panahon na yon, ang umatake sa amin o nagpatawag sa amin o nanakot sa amin. I have done so, all these things of social media, and I will continue doing so with full awareness of my fundamental rights and duties as a Filipino citizen. And I can only wish na itong mga public servants natin can also say the same. Sana alam din nila ang kanilang mga responsibilidad, karapatan, more on dun sa responsibilidad bilang public servant, bilang mga Pilipino, dahil mukhang yan ay nakakalimutan na nila at nalalasing na sila masyado sa kapangyarihan at kayabangan. Silencing critics is the first major step toward authoritarian rule. It is dangerous betrayal of the ideals that define a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And those of you in the government who are attempting to curtail this right are betraying not the people, but also the very oath you swore to uphold. Those of you